I'm being told I'm going to go in basic. Okay, here we go. June 7th through June 13th of 2014. Headline news. Where you may have not heard of this. Or did you ever Griffin? Okay. Let me go down to the elephant stomping on the Tea Party. Stomp. Boing! There goes the the Tea Party. But the elephant went boing. Later. Yes, we're winning. We are winning. We're winning. Okay. Top video for this week. There was no running. Drinking water in Slavic Ukraine amidst fighting between the Ukrainian government and pro-Russian separatists. Electricity, telephones, and internet have been knocked out, and businesses are closed. Most residents who can have fled the area so they could get all this. AFP, June 13. Canada, research by Food Inspection Agency found more than 45% of organic fruits and vegetables tested positive for pesticide residue. Some of this is because a few self-proclaimed organic growers, primarily from Mexico, use pesticides anyways. But mostly because trace amounts of pesticides are found in air, soil, and water. Conclusion: organically labeled foods have less pesticides. Don't you know? Prevent disease. June 12th. Video. Iraq. A terrorist organization called Islamic State of Iraq and Syria is occupying key cities in Iraq and is threatening to take the capital in Baghdad. Once again. When confronted by the ISIS, or ISIS, the Iraqi government army abandoned its posts and left behind U.S. military equipment and weapons that include Hellfire missiles. The weapons have fallen into the hands of ISIS, and they are planning to bring them into Syria. The most recent Iraq war cost the lives of 4,500 American soldiers and hundreds of thousands of Iraqi civilians. Don't forget the $1 trillion billed to the U.S. taxpayers. Never mind all that. Obama intends to continue financing the military-industrial complex in this never-ending war with no identifiable enemy. Russia Today, June 12th. Never-ending story. There it is. Never-ending story. Okay, let's go. There were 2 large solar storms this week, and rapidly their occurrence appears to be increasing. This is contrary to what was expected because 2013 was considered to be the peak of the last 11-year cycle. However, intensity of the storms is not necessarily related to frequency. Some of the biggest have occurred at times of low frequency. These current storms are not expected to be of a serious concern because they are not aimed directly at Earth. We received only a glancing blow from the edge of their trajectories. Scientists say, however, that it's only a question of time before a major flare will strike a direct blow to Earth and the people Earth, and the consequences will be far more serious than most people think. See, Racing with the Sun, IQ Weather, June 11th. And guess what? There it is, the documentary, Racing with the Sun. It's not if, but when we get hit by a big solar flare. In response to recent shootings, Obama says he will issue more executive orders. In other words, pencil whip commands from his kingdom to further limit private ownership of guns. Because, if you have a gun, you can't protect yourself if you don't. And he wants it that way. So he looks good. Don't you know? Neither he nor the major media ever mentioned that the shooters are almost always on psychoactive drugs, SSRIs. The president says that gun violence is off the charts, but even after considering much publicized shootings, gun crime is on the downturn. And it is, because the stories they're not telling you are the ones where people had guns and they confronted their assailants and killed them. Oh well, you're not supposed to know about that one. No, not supposed to know about that one. And Obama knows it. He commissioned a study last year that concluded that has been a 49% drop in gun homicides since 1993, and that concealed weapon help to protect people against criminals. The real goal of gun control is not to disarm the criminals, but to disarm the average citizen so he can become victims of guns. Not to throw off crime, but to throw off rebellion against tyranny, which our government has become. Infowars, June 11th. And if you don't know that, and another thing, if guns kill people, why are there no massacres at gun shows? Just ask yourself that. That's one of those things. Video. Virginia. Republican House Majority Leader Eric Canton lost his primary election to Tea Party candidate David Brett, an economics professor. It is the upset of the year. Cantor spent $5 million to campaign against Brett's $300,000. Name recognition and money speaks loudly at election time, but voter anger against Canton for his support of the Obama's amnesty plan spoke louder. There you go. Now you know where it's going. We're going in a trend here. We're getting rid of all the crooks. Yep. CNN, June 11th. Hey, a star. Keep this for future reference. A new study from the University of Texas shows that the recent melting of the West Atlantic ice sheet is due to geothermal heat from undersea volcanoes instead of man-made global warming. Imagine that. Volcanoes under the ocean. Oh my God, how do we trigger that being puny little humans on the surface? Oh well. Aside from this, an anomaly in the West Antarctica in May, and overall Antarctica sea ice was at its highest level since 1979. We have more ice that is being... I ain't going to go into it. When the measurements began. Daily Caller, June 11th. And that's the facts, Jack. You people out there want to believe in global warming? You're believing in giving your money to these criminals out there like Al Gore and stuff and company for their global warming conspiracy. That's what it would basically be called. And it is a conspiracy. There's more than one people involved in trying to make money off of you. And you just don't see it happening. Video. Former Utah Attorney General Mark Shurtleff is angry over military-style raids on his house by the FBI and Utah Department of Public Safety. That's right. The irony is that Shurtleff supported these types of raids on non-violent suspects when he was in office. But now that it happened to him, listen to him whine. Oh my God, they're doing this to me. I can't have this done to me. I'm above God in the universe. And it's like Obama and the rest. Well, and that's how it is. KSL News, June 10th. See, when it happens to them, they get upset. When it happens to you, it doesn't matter. Remember that. Video. Audra McDonald set a record by winning her 6th Tony Award in an emotional speech. She thanked her parents for defying doctors' orders to put her on psych drugs for hyperactivity. Instead, her parents found what she was interested in. It was theater, and encouraged her to use her energy to pursue it. You probably will want to skip the segment that follows her. MSNBC, June 9. But, SSRIs are not the answer to your problems. Okay. California video. District Attorney in Santa Clara and Orange counties are suing pharmaceutical companies for aggressively marketing highly addictive drugs without medical justification. Like SSRIs. Prescriptions have risen by 300% since 1999. Chicago is also suing, alleging a 20-year conspiracy by drug companies for targeting returning veterans and using front groups to publish biased reports in favor of their drugs. RT, June 19. Oh yeah, these drugs work wonderful when you first start taking them. Your serotonin levels are being suppressed over a period of time, and you go nuts, and you want to kill somebody. But don't say that out loud. Yeah. Video. France. The National Front Party that opposed the EU was swept into power in recent elections. Party leader Marine Le Pen says her primary objective is to restore France's sovereignty and her own national currency. She says that all the leaders of the European Commission are interchangeable and compares them to prison wardens. And this is probably right. We're all under prison wardens, aren't we? If you don't have the right to do what you will, you're under some type of warden, aren't you? RT, June 19. Video. A massive surge of illegal immigrants from Central America is currently flooding the U.S. and overwhelming the border agents. As a result of Obama's policy to turn minors over to their families and friends in the U.S. rather than send them back, thousands of children are being absorbed into the U.S. every year. Between 90,000 and 150,000 children will arrive in 2014. Leaked photos show that those who are apprehended at the border are sent to detention centers and then dumped on the U.S. street corners. Obama administration is requesting $2 billion to pay for the operation, not including the cost of food, health care, and education. Fox News, June 19. Do you understand what's going on? Well, if you don't, you haven't been paying attention. Video. New Albany, Indiana. The Floyd County Sheriff's Department is being sued by a woman who was forcibly stripped and left in jail cell filled with pepper spray for 7 hours. That's evil. It was recorded on video as well. There are claims that this is a routine procedure for women taken to jail. I don't want to be a woman in Indiana, don't you know? A second woman was stripped on the same day as shown in another video. WDBRB News, June 9th. What is going on with our police force? They're supposed to be peace officers, not Gestapo officers. What's going on? Video. A new audit of the U.S. Veterans Administration found that 57,000, let's do that again, vets have waited more than 3 months for their first VA medical appointment, while an additional 64,000 never received an appointment at all after requesting one. Huh? Really? That's how we're going to treat our troops? That they sent into a false war and a false conflict? 13% of VA schedules said their supervisors told them to falsify dates to make waiting time appear shorter so that the supervisors could receive bonuses for efficiency. It's a scam. They're scamming our own troops. That they're being tricked into going over and fighting these fake wars, or the wars that we shouldn't be in. I'm not saying they're fake, but they're fake wars we shouldn't be in. June 9th from Fox News. And it goes on and on and on. And I don't understand it. New Jersey, a nurse from Hackensack Regional Medical Center has won a lawsuit after being terminated for refusing a flu shot without claiming a religious or medical exemption. Interesting. The appellate judges ruled that the hospital violated her rights to freedom of expression because they accepted religious choices but rejected her secular choice. An excellent ruling. Hopefully other medical facilities and schools will take note that they just can't take your child and say, we're going to show you a video. Now this is what's happening in the schools. We're going to show you this video. Oh, look. You get this or this disease if you don't get this shot. Oh, look. And the kids go, oh, I want the shot. I don't want that. And not knowing it has mercury and everything in the shot that's going to make them stupid. This is the truth. Anyways, Syria, President Assad won the election with an 88.7 vote share in the majority of the country that was free to vote. It is Washington, D.C. that wants to overthrow Assad, not the Syrian people. Infowars, June 8th. And it's true. Assad is not the bad guy. Our government is the bad guy. Sorry to say this, but the news media and MSM will tell you otherwise. They'll tell you that he's killing his own people. Look, he gassed them the day that they... Really, the day that these inspectors are going to come there, he's going to gas his own people? That would be an ignorant thing to do. And you know that he's not an ignorant person if you listen to him. Makes me mad. Video, Germany. Intelligence servants admitted to operating 6 spy listening post facilities that cooperate with U.S. government to spy on German citizens. All major governments now are spying on their citizens, but this disclosure is ironic because the German chancellor Angela Merkel made a big fuss when she learned that her call from her cell phone may have been tapped by the U.S. The political class is eager to spy on common citizens but expects privacy for themselves. You know, everyone's equal except us. We are more equal, or something of that nature. Think about it. RT, June 7th. Another star. Article at Keep for future reference. Researchers of the International Union for the Conservation of Nature admit that their low numbers for the global population of polar bears were only estimated guesses. I'm putting the quotes beside my head right now. Furthermore, those guesses did not include as many as 9,000 bears in subpopulations or bears in the Arctic Basin, East Greenland, and Russia. Really good science, huh? Daily Caller posted it June 7th. Yeah, they were saying, oh, the ice is going to melt and these bears are going to drown. Oh my God. You know that the polar bears have hollow hairs and it makes them buoyant? They can float like a boat out there in the Arctic Ocean. And they can swim for 300 miles. It's just this craziness that they keep trying to push down our throats. Okay, here's an instant arachnophobia. Acrophobia, I should say. I mean, it's kind of strange, being afraid of heights and stuff, but here we go. Analysis, reports and commentaries that look beyond news and identify historical facts. Secret War of the CIA reveals that everything you don't want to know about the CIA. Former CIA station chief John Stockwell, now a whistleblower, tells of his first-hand experience in secret wars that were totally unrelated to U.S. national security. He says the CIA over 6 million people in countries that pose zero threat to the U.S. CIA agents operate on a black budget, are involved in the drug trade. Yeah, they bring in heroin and all that stuff. Air America should give you up on that. And are trained to torture, terrorize, and kill people. Stockwell describes how the Reagan administration set the stage for Nicaragua for today's war on terror. Information Clearinghouse, posted June 12th. And it's true. All of it's true. If you don't know it, you haven't been researching like I have. And I agree with that 100%. Yes, the CIA gets all their money. They don't get a paycheck from the government. Like, if you work for the government, you get the special paycheck from the Army and anywhere else you work, Air Force, Marine, that has a little, Statue of Liberty on it. No, they don't get that. No. Video clip from a roundtable discussion between whistleblower Sybil Edmonds and alternative media reporter James Covert makes an excellent analysis of the cause of apathy and depression. He also describes how to overcome them by learning optimism. You gotta have optimism. BFR, June 10th. Yeah, you have to do that. Video from the man who does this site that I report on every week when I can. Video, G. Edward Griffin gives a short speech about James Madison and the ideology behind the Constitution. This video highlights an interview with Mr. Griffin and includes portions of his book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. L.A. Sheriff Lieutenant Patrick Gomez gives a speech on the importance of the First Amendment and the oath of office for law enforcement officers and public officials. It concludes with an overview of the Full Disclosure Network, FDN, June 10th. You got to see this stuff. You got to do your research. You got to do this stuff or you're losing out on everything you got to know. Now's the cool down. The photo. Any questions? A blackboard full of writing. I have no idea how he must have put that up there before the class. But look at that blackboard. Full of writing. Unbelievable. Anyways, And this is the humor. Here's one. Did you really get me a cat for my birthday? This dog reacts to his master's voice and everything. It's great. Here's the Reality Zone Classifieds. That's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed everything I was talking about. This is the Unfiltered News headlines you may have missed. Until next time, I want you to be good, or just be good at it, and have a wonderful weekend, and a happy Father's Day. Goodbye.